Evening, everyone. I am your host, Chi-Town Zone, for Friday, January the 3rd, 2020. And yes, with just no less than 3 days into the new year, America is going to war. As many of you may be aware, it was late last night, President Trump ordered the U.S. to strike and kill the highest ranking second general of Iran, Mr. Soleimani. Of course, no shed tears here. This was a very evil man who was responsible for the death of thousands of innocent people, as well as many of our men and women in uniform serving this country. Of course, it is even going on to state via sources that it was Mr. Soleimani who ordered the attack just recently on the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad, as many of you may remember. But it was just long ago as well. President Trump went on to state that this isn't another Benghazi. As many of you may remember, it was then 4 Americans tragically lost their lives. And it was under the Obama administration that nothing was done whatsoever. But of course, now that President Trump has ordered this attack on Mr. Soleimani, now Iran has threatened to retaliate harshly, as many of you may already know. It was Mayor Bloomberg of New York City earlier today who held a press conference, went to state that he is ordering extra law enforcement in key areas of New York City for everyone's safety as well, just in case anything should happen, being that New York City is on the East Coast as well. But of course, this is what we do know right now, which I will be leaving links in regards to, guys. But this is just coming in, guys, as major breaking news that America is going to war. It was earlier today we seen that over 3,500 troops of the 82nd Airborne are being deployed to Kuwait as we speak to assist, and given what happened just recently again with the U.S. Embassy there in Baghdad. But of course now we do know that America is going to war with Iran, where Iran has threatened to retaliate viciously again. But, we know that members of the Democrat Party, which is no surprise, are actually siding with Iran. They're trying to apologize to Iran for what President Trump has done and are demanding answers why President Trump did not inform Congress prior to this attack. I mean, for one, he is the president. He really doesn't have to inform you guys of anything. Or if anything, how do we know that you guys wouldn't go back and tell Iran that, yes, President Trump has ordered a hit on you guys? That just goes to show just how really crooked the Democrat Party really are. But of course, we're going to be doing our very best to monitor this. Many are already going on social media stating that this could very well lead to World War III. Some are joking about it. Many others are posting memes, making jokes about it or mocking it or whatever the case might be. And some are awfully upset about it and, blaming President Trump and whatever else and talking about why did he do this and this and that and, and all that or whatever. And, it's just absolutely ridiculous, guys, that, this is not the Obama administration. We're not going to just sit here and let these people spit in our faces and shout death to America and do nothing and apologize to them for it. This is not the Obama administration where we're going to send them millions of dollars or whatever and then hope that everything will be okay while they continue to laugh at us and spit in our faces. Something had to be done about this. Mr. Soleimani is a very dangerous individual. Yes, very smart, but also very dangerous. Sources indicate that he was plotting sinister attacks on Americans there in Iraq as well. This was the reason for this attack last night, ordered by President Trump. But President Trump went on to state earlier during this morning's press conference or this afternoon's press conference where he stated that he did this to prevent war, not start a war. But of course now we know that Iran has gone on to state that this is war. And with the 3,000 something troops being deployed to Baghdad now, there's no telling what's going to happen. But many people are worried. Some are, not too worried at all. But Scripture makes it abundantly clear. Jesus warned his disciples as well in the book of Matthew, I believe Luke, and both Mark as well, that, when his disciples came to him asking him, what shall be the signs of your coming at the end of the days? And Jesus said, one of the signs that you will hear is wars and rumors of wars. But all these things shall come to pass, but what the end is not yet. But of course, many of you may know that it's no longer a rumor. America, we are going to war. This could very well spark World War III. There's no doubt about it, guys. But given the entire thing that what's going on now, we can't just sit back and not do nothing. And Mr. Soleimani was a very evil, dangerous man, responsible for the death of thousands of innocent people. And we just gonna sit back and do nothing? And then, of course, he ordered a group of people to invade another U.S. embassy there in Baghdad, and we're supposed to just sit back and do nothing? No, it just doesn't work that way. President Trump has finally put a backbone back in America, and we are taking a stand for our country by doing what's right and defending our men and women, wherever they may be. Enough is enough of this. We are not going to continue to apologize to our enemy every time they spit in our faces and shout death to America. You have Haliana Omar already who tweeted that she's outraged by this and she's going to prevent Trump from being able to defend Americans. Keep in mind, this is the same woman who hates this country. She hates Christians. She hates Jews. She hates America. And she hates Israel just as much as Iran does. But moving on, guys, I mean, this is getting really serious, but we're going to do our very best to continue to monitor this. But as many of you may already know, sources are also indicating that there has been another airstrike backed by an Iran-backed militia north of Baghdad. Another airstrike from what sources are indicating here. Of course, we're going to get all into this very soon. But, it's no longer a rumor of war. America is going to war. It's no longer a matter of what if, but a matter of when. Iran vows that they are going to retaliate harshly. But moving on, guys. Let's see what we have here. If you give me just 1 second, of course, I will be leaving links in regards to all this. But this is very, very serious, guys. We're going to do our very best to continue to monitor this. Let me see, what do we have here, guys? Let's start with this. Iraq officials airstrike, if you give me 1 second. Airstrike hits Iran-backed militia north of Baghdad. Of course, again, I will be leaving links in the description below. An Iraqi official says an airstrike has hit 2 cars carrying Iran-backed militia north of Baghdad 1 day after U.S. attack on top Iranian General Qasem Soleimani. The official said 5 members of the militia were killed, and the official said the identity of those killed was not immediately known at this time. Of course, it would take some time to learn the identities of these guys, but we really do not care right now. I do not, it's no love lost here, guys, or whatever. I could care less about these guys because they absolutely hate us. They hate Christians. They hate Israel. They don't believe that the Holocaust really happened as well. It's absolutely ridiculous, guys. But moving on here, let me see. Let's see what else. Iran pushes Soleimani mourners to streets after trying to buy off protesters. Well, imagine that, guys. The article here reads, Iranian state media reported mourners filling the streets of Tehran after Friday prayers and chanting once again, death to America, which is no surprise. In response to the death of Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Quds Force Commander Qasem Soleimani's death in the U.S. drone strike in Iraq. The article here further reads, the Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei issued a statement on Friday morning celebrating Soleimani as an international face of resistance and promising that harsh retaliation is waiting for the United States. Many are already speculating what could possibly happen. I was actually listening in a little bit on CNN, so don't shoot me for listening to this, guys. I was listening to one guest they had on one of the shows or whatever, and he was giving his whole take on what he believes may happen. It could be a cyber attack, it could be an attack on the markets, a whole list of many things that could possibly happen. But there's really no telling right now. But of course, Iran is vowing a harsh retaliation, as many of you may already know, guys. But of course, moving on. Let me see what else we have here, guys. I mean, this is getting really serious, but as always, we're going to continue to do our very best to monitor this. And I urge us to, to please pray for all of our troops being sent overseas right now and those who are already there, guys. They really need our prayers, especially those who have loved ones who are currently in the military, guys. Many people are on edge because of this vicious this war that's set to take place soon between America and both Iran. Things are definitely getting very serious, but I do believe that our troops are going to prevail. We are going to absolutely destroy these guys. Mark my words on this. Let me see, what else do we have? Wow, this is amazing right here, guys. You're not going to want to miss this one. The headline here reads, Flashback, Iran Soleimani hired Mexican cartel associate to assassinate Saudi ambassador on U.S. soil. Well, imagine that, guys. Just goes to show you just how evil this man really is. In May of 2011, discussions began secretly in Mexico between known Los Zetas associate Quds Force operative Masur Abbasar. The discussion would lead to planning a C4 detonation at a Washington, D.C. restaurant frequented by Saudi Ambassador Adel. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce his last name. The Quds Force operative did not know that he was being recorded in a DEA operation. Well, of course not, guys. But the article further reads, in July of 2011, Ambassador returned to Mexico to continue meeting with the DEA informant. He explained that his bosses in Iran had plans for more violence in addition to the Saudi ambassador's murder on July 14th. The informant told the DEA that Abbasar recruited 4 men to carry out the plot and would charge a total of 1.5 million USD. Advance payments of nearly $50,000 were wired to the FBI-controlled bank account in an overt act of violating a conspiracy. So, yeah, guys, this goes to show just how really evil Mr. Soleimani really is. I mean, that's why I said no tears for this man whatsoever. He was a very evil man, again, responsible for the death of over thousands of innocent people, including U.S. Military men and women. But moving on, guys, let's see what else we have here. Give me just 1 second. I'm all over the place right now. I don't know what else to do. Let me see. Let's see what's going on here. This should be a good one, guys. Let's see. Let's see what we have here. Reporters post video of Soleimani reading poetry. Iranian bombing fake news. Well, imagine that, guys. Well, here we go again. New York Times reporter Fernaz Fasahi reported propaganda created by Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps on Friday following the Pentagon confirming that it had killed General Qasem Soleimani, who commanded the IRGC's Quad forces there, as many of you may know, which the article further reads, the U.S. government branded the IRGC a foreign terrorist organization in April. The Quad Force is an international IRGC unit that specializes in terrorist bombings and colorization efforts under Soleimani. The Quad Force expanded its reach in Syria, Yemen, Iraq, and Lebanon, and parts of Latin America. But things are definitely getting very, very serious, guys. We know that, they do have sleeper cells here in America and both Europe as well. All we know that Iran has to do is just give them the go-ahead, and they will be ready to attack. But we're going to do our very best to monitor this. But again, guys, with that being said, I will be leaving links in the description box below, but I urge each and every one of us to continue to pray for our servicemen and women in uniform everywhere, as we know that over 3,500 of them have just been deployed to Kuwait to assist in this whole thing right now with Iran as well. With this, the possibilities if not, not so much possibilities, but us going to war with Iran, as many of you may know. But again, we're going to continue to do our very best to monitor this, guys. But with that being said, let's continue to pray for our servicemen and women everywhere in uniform, guys, including both in Iraq at this time as we speak, guys, and as well as President Trump, as we know he definitely has his work cut out for him, guys, as the Democrats are already going after him, attacking him for him ordering this attack on General Soleimani. But again, with that being said, I am your host, Chi-Town Zone. For those of you watching again, do subscribe for any further news or breaking updates if we happen to have any. And with that being said, God bless and talk to you all later.